Hello everyone, welcome to another show. Today I'm here with a very special guest. Her name is Preethi Vijay, a wonderful artist who is running an art studio here in Redmond, Washington. And her art studio is called piwocart. And she made it to Guinness Book of World Records in 2017, and she recently also made it to India Book of Records for her biggest coffee painting, which is 1656 square feet.
Yeah,
Yeah. So Preeti, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming to my show.
thank you.
So we'll be spending next half hour learning about her journey from a kid, self-taught, from a self-taught artist to a budding entrepreneur who is running an art studio to a Guinness record holder. Stay tuned. Yeah, why don't you tell us about yourself, a little bit of background about how you became an artist?
Yeah, sure. So, I'm an engineering graduate. I did my information technology. I graduated from a college based in India,
Okay.
so from Chennai. So, I became so exhausted with my IT job, and I always had this dream about art and was so passionate about drawings and sketchings. And I'm a self-taught artist, so I've never been to any class or anything. So I used to draw from my childhood. Then I got busy with my studies, and then college, and then job and everything. I couldn't find a proper time to focus on my dream. And one fine day, I started like with all the stress with my job. I wanted some relaxation, some diversion. So I started to sketch again. So I made a portrait of Mother Teresa,
Wow.
and it became a huge hit among my friends and family. And
Was it on canvas?
Yeah, it was just on a paper.
Okay.
It was just a pencil medium.
Nice.
So that was my stepping stone after a very long gap. So after my childhood drawing, sketchings and other things. So from all the motivations and encouragement from the family and kith and kin, and then I started like, okay, this was nice. I could do something, and then I started taking up portraits. I love to do portraits.
Okay.
So I started dwelling more about portraits in other mediums like charcoal, acrylic, oil.
Right.
So everything I took this YouTube as God. and
So YouTube
started
has been your
yes,
teacher.
Yeah, so that is my mentor. So everything I started learning from YouTube, and then some of the videos from Facebook, and just looking up at others' work as references, trying that. So many errors, so many trials, and so many messed up work. But everything was a very nice learning and a journey. Just I started back in 2013.
Okay.
So just gradually picked up with all those paintings, and then I moved on from portraits to abstract. Then I just tried a little bit of landscape. I didn't want to stick to one particular medium or one particular genre. So I was
So
just
you would
doing-
say portraits has been your strength?
Yes,
Yeah.
portraits has been my strength. So then it just gradually picked up to exhibitions,
Right.
and then to malls, and my paintings got placed in different places. Went to museums. So
Nice.
that was the journey. That was the start.
Very
Start was with my portrait of Mother Teresa,
Mhm.
which I'll never forget. I have that still.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So Preethi also runs an art studio here in Bellevue, Washington, and it's called piwocart. So how is it going with? How do you feel being an entrepreneur, being an artist who is helping other budding artists?
Yes, I totally feel awesome about it for actually pursuing my dream.
Right.
And I have to mention that I have a very good family, very supporting family, who's who totally understood my dreams, and they support me even now for
Right.
everything. And without that, I would have not even able to think about it. With all the other things that I had, I said like one fine day I wanted to quit my job,
Right.
and I wanted to take art as my passion,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't even have an idea whether it would become a profession or not.
Right. You just followed
So
your
I
passion at
just
that
followed
time.
my
Yeah.
passion. So
Yeah.
I had no clue how far I can make it. So then, yeah, they had the
They
belief.
believed in you.
Yeah, they believed
Yeah.
in me.
Nice.
And that was a good boost for me. So I
Right.
had some belief from my family and support.
Very nice. Very,
And
very lucky to have a family
yes,
like that. Yeah.
really very
Yeah.
blessed
Yeah.
for having
So
such
do
a
you ever
family.
regret quitting your IT job when you see
Totally
friends?
no.
No. Yeah.
Totally no.
Yeah.
I'm so satisfied with my job.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think that job satisfaction is more important than the money you earn.
Right. Right.
So that was my motive, and I totally hated engineering and IT.
Right.
But I had to take it because of no other
Right, in India,
proper
like
guidance,
that's
I
the
guess.
path. Like I'm
Yes.
sure India has lost many
True,
artists,
true.
many musicians,
True.
just because we are stuck in this maze that
Maze,
you have to,
yes.
like, success is defined by
True.
you're an engineer, you're a doctor.
True.
You got to be like
You have
specific
to be
one
a
or two.
professional,
Right, right,
qualified professionally.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you should either become a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer.
Right,
It's a
right.
branded
Yeah.
profession.
Again, money is also important,
True.
but how do you feel about it? Again, I don't want to ask you how much money you're making, but as an artist, I think it's a question like I always wonder. I know there is passion, I know you're doing the job that you want, but how do you balance your finances or when you
Okay.
make this a profession?
Okay, so initially I started taking up orders from my friends from a smaller circle,
Yeah.
and then I started moving with posts in Facebook, social medias,
Right.
and other stuffs. Then, so initially I started with the portrait orders. So from like a special occasion,
Right.
a couple portrait or a family portrait. That is how I started. Then I started with moving on with other client-specific orders. Like if I wanted to make this, and so when there was a larger reach
Right.
through Facebook and through other social medias, so it started picking up.
Picking up,
Initially,
nice.
my earning was not that much, but I was still happy because I didn't plan about earning at all.
Right.
So it was just I was just following my passion, and anything beyond that was my bonus.
Right.
That is how I was just
Having
looking
that
at it.
mindset kind of
Yeah.
helps you, like, have that clarity why you're doing it.
True, true.
Whether you're doing a job, whether you're following your passion,
True.
you can get everything.
True.
But some people, like, you have to work very hard to go to a
True.
place where your passion becomes your profession and you start
True.
making a lot of money out of it.
True.
Yeah.
So initial days were way too hectic because I used to work in the mornings in IT, like couple of 10 to 11 hours.
Yeah.
Then I'll come back home. I'll spend some time with my family, and when everybody is to back to bed, I'll take off my system and mobile. I used to see some mobile or something to
Right.
learn. So I'll just take up all those things. I'll start sketching. So it'll be like around 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I used to spend time and just nap for 2-3 hours, then go back to work the next day.
Yeah.
But it was a little hectic, but I wouldn't regret
Yeah.
for doing that.
Nice.
So that was the start for me. If I had lost interest or if I had have stopped there,
Right.
I couldn't have done what I've
Exactly.
done
Like
now.
that's good. Like you took the traditional path and you
Yes.
figured out that is not giving what you need. That's not fulfilling your purpose,
True.
and you started following your
True.
passion. I'm so glad you did that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
So
yes.
let's talk about my favorite question. So let's talk about the records that you broke.
Yeah.
So one is the Guinness record.
Yes.
Other one is the recent India Book of Records.
Yes.
So yeah, tell us like how do you
Okay.
feel about the records? And I'm sure it got to be very exciting. But how did you get there?
So couple of years back, like 2-3 years back, I had this idea of painting using different mediums, not just a usual paint or pencil or something.
Or oil.
I wanted to test something that which is a daily usage medium, like coffee, like turmeric, and all those kitchen items, like whatever which I see in different color. So I started using that.
Yeah.
So I
Did you
had
start experimenting on different
Yes.
textures? Like,
Yes,
I'm sure
different
if it's a
textures.
cloth, it's
Correct.
different. If it's a canvas, it's different. If it's a paper, it's totally different.
Yes.
Yeah.
So since I've been a self-taught artist, it was like kind of exciting for me to try my hands on different things and
Nice.
not particularly stick on one on the traditional way.
Right.
So I started painting with the coffee. I had a bunch of expired coffee powder. I didn't want it to throw it away. I wanted to do something with that.
Wow.
So that was my start of painting with coffee.
Uh,
Okay, it is not edible. So what can I do with that? Okay, I suddenly got this idea. Okay, coffee will make stain. Why
Yeah.
don't we make something beautiful out of that stain?
Right.
Okay, so I started painting. My very first painting trial with the coffee attempt was really very nice. Even I was surprised. Okay, coffee can also be painted. Okay,
Right.
that was my start. I didn't know that coffee can be used. I don't know if others would have
It's
already
a sheer
experimented.
experiment. Like, you didn't
Was just a
have any
sheer
information
experiment,
before.
yes.
It's just coffee and water.
Yeah,
or
coffee
did you
and
mix
water.
anything?
No, nothing. It's just coffee and water. I had a.
So it's
this-
basically a decoction.
Yes, decoction. Yes.
Okay.
Just purely a decoction.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what kind of amount of liquid or what state it has to be in other things. But whatever it is, I just thought like, okay, let it be in the consistency of a paint or something, whatever I felt. So I started painting it, and I painted a jaguar using
Okay.
it. So I
what
immediately think of
background was it?
and I was just thinking about something which will go with the brown coffee
Okay.
color. So I was thinking to do something wood based, something like a still life or something. And suddenly I thought like, okay, why don't I try with animals, which are in brown color?
Right.
Okay, so I thought of drawing a bear. Then I started. No, I wanted to always do the kitty.
Yeah.
Kitty family, something from tiger or something. Then again, suddenly I thought like, okay, let me do a jaguar.
Yeah.
So the jaguar painting was like, I painted the jaguar with the coffee, and created a background with the acrylic.
Okay.
Just wanted to see how it worked.
Experiment
Yeah,
different
just
things, yeah.
experimenting.
Yeah.
That was like a tremendous hit with my posting social media, and I was able to sell it as well.
Okay.
So I was super excited. Okay, I can do something with
Yeah,
coffee.
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's innovative. Right?
Yeah, so I wanted to like, okay, explore more.
Yes.
I started exploring more about
I
coffee.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So suddenly I had this one of my friend trying to tell me like, why don't you do something big? Why don't you take it out of social media?
Right.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I wanted to take it big, but I didn't know what
You wasn't
to
sure
do.
what
an
or
artist
how,
can
yeah,
do big.
yeah.
I didn't know. So I was just thinking, okay, exhibitions or maybe selling somewhere.
Yeah.
That is
Submitting
what,
to art
Yes,
competitions,
art
like, yeah.
competitions. That is what I was thinking. But this Guinness was, I was surprised how I had this idea.
Right.
So I started like immediately when I had this idea of doing a world record. I had no clue whether I'll be able to do it, or
Right.
what will be the size, or whether it will be accepted or not.
Right.
So I just gave a blind trial.
And you started reading out the
Yeah, I
acceptance
started
criteria
reading
and the
out
instructions.
what Guinness is exactly,
Nice.
and how it works and other things. So I started applying. I made an application that I will paint using coffee, and I understood from Guinness that they usually take 12 weeks to respond to an
the
application.
processing time,
Yeah,
yeah.
to respond to your application. How Guinness works is like only when they accept your title, you have to start working.
Okay.
So approval is a different thing.
Okay.
So that is how the process works. So surprisingly, my title was accepted within a month, not
Okay.
even 3 weeks.
Like 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah. less than
not
4
even
weeks.
3-4 weeks.
Nice.
So I got an. I was like, it was like in the early morning for me.
Is it like an online application?
Yeah, it's
like
an
you
online
just have to
application.
Fill it, what
yes,
you're
you
going
have
to
to,
do.
have to fill it and just put on the details like how you do it.
Oh, I always thought you do something and then submit an
No,
application.
that is
Okay.
not. That is
Okay.
not how Guinness works.
Wow,
So
good to
Guinness,
know.
yeah, Guinness has to approve your title,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything starts.
Okay.
And then there'll be a couple of time for us to finish our title, and that is how it started. So when the title was approved, I was so excited. I started working on, okay, my title is approved.
Right.
Now my idea is approved. I need to work on how to execute my plan.
Is there a timeline right after the application? that
Yes,
you need to-
everything has a timeline.
Okay.
So after once the title is approved, Guinness will have a clear-cut guidelines based on the title. That will be individually to each applicant.
Right, based on the
Based
act or
on the title,
performance,
yes.
like, yeah.
Based on the title. So mostly Guinness will be like time-based record or something like this size-based record. So mine
Size-based
was
or
like
food, yeah.
largest.
Right.
Yes, largest was my title. So largest painting using coffee. And surprisingly, I created the title. There was no record previously.
Okay, so
mine
yours was the first
Yeah,
one.
mine was the first thing.
Okay.
So I was like so super excited with that.
Yeah.
And I completely, I successfully completed it, and within very few months, my record got broken
Okay.
with a very larger size by someone else. But that is
But
how
that's
Guinness
okay.
works.
You set the record. You
Yeah.
started it. Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's always
so,
good.
but
yeah.
that is how Guinness works. Nobody
And
can
then what
stop.
happened? I'm just curious. Like, you started the application, and did they come to Bellevue, Washington?
No, that is not how it works.
Okay.
Like they don't like judge every record.
Okay.
So how it works is like once we are done with the record, we have to submit our evidences.
Okay. Like,
So
taking
not for
pictures,
every
yeah.
record we don't need a judge or an
So this
educator.
particular record.
So for my
Where did you
record,
do this?
yes, this record I made it in India.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2017.
Okay.
So that was my first record, and so I made it in Chennai. So there was a guideline that it has to be kept in a public place.
Okay.
So the public is viewing and other stuffs are there. All those Guinness stuff are there. So after that is done, so I have to, we have to submit the evidence that yeah, I've done this and this is what it is, and whatever the requirements Guinness has
Right.
asked me. So all those things. Once it is all satisfied, they will make a call
Right.
whether to approve or not. That is what it is. So once that was done, I couldn't enjoy that for a very long time because it was broken.
Yeah, but that's
So
okay.
I was
you-
like, okay,
you set
fine.
the record.
Yes, I
so,
set a
yeah,
record.
Yeah.
And still, I was like, I wanted to do a bigger size than that,
Yeah.
in the current record. So, so I tried this in last year, 2019, the next record. So, unfortunately, this didn't go to Guinness
Okay.
for some reasons. So, but it made an entry in India Book of Records.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's very, very
that is
proud
the second.
moment. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
second record. So I was even more happy because this is from my own country.
Exactly. Yeah.
I got
yeah.
a record from my own country and I was like, okay, happy.
Yeah. How was your reaction when you
I was
heard
very
that it
happy.
made it? Like,
I was very, very happy. I was like thinking, okay, I made a record in India and that went to Guinness.
Yeah.
I made a record in US and that went to India. Okay, nice.
very nice. Very, very beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
I was super excited. I'm so proud to have
Thank
you as
you
my
so
friend.
much.
I wish you break many, many more records in
Thank you.
future. Yeah. Yeah. How do you keep your creativity up and going as an artist? I'm not an artist, but I have a huge respect for artists. So I don't understand how you guys keep that creativity up and running after many, many years.
Okay. I would probably say that I usually do everything different. I generally don't, my thinking and everything, usually it will not be in a very traditional conservative way.
So it's always experimental,
It is always
adventurous.
experimental and
What
always
inspires you?
like-
Do you have a favorite artist that inspired you?
I used to love Ravi Verma's paintings, and I am a huge fan of his paintings. His
have you
style.
seen recently, like
Yes,
they have recreated
I saw
using
that. Yes, that was absolutely beautiful.
very beautiful.
So
like, yeah.
I used to love his paintings as a child as well, and I also like Picasso and different kind of artists. I have a very I have my eyes on this European style of paintings.
So
That
every
is
time you
also-
look at it somewhere, wherever you go, that
Yes.
kind of spikes your interest
True,
again.
true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
in all those things that I love a lot. But yes, my first preference will be Ravi Verma's kind of because
Very
it's
nice.
all most of portraits,
Right,
which I
right.
love
It
most.
has life in it.
Yes,
It's not
true,
easy.
very true.
Yeah, yeah. It's sometimes it's very hard to tell if it's like a picture
True,
or a
true,
portrait.
true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So Preethi, for you to come this far as an artist, and now you have established yourself as a successful artist or entrepreneur or whatever, like, did you have any setbacks or failures that you remember?
Yes. So in my initial days, I was super excited. So I used to like try for so many applications like exhibitions here, there, competitions.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple of successful attempts. I had a couple of failures,
Mm-hmm.
but every failure was just my learning.
Right.
I would never feel dejected or feel low,
Mhm.
or I would never stop if I fail in something.
Right. Rejection is such a hard thing
Yes.
to take for anybody. Like for me,
Yeah.
for kids, for
True.
artists, for anybody. Like
True,
I
true,
really
true.
wanted to learn from you. How did you handle that
True.
rejection?
So I initially when I started this painting thing, I made my mind very clear about thing that art is very subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody will like whatever you draw.
Right. Yeah. It,
So
it may not be
everyone
my
has-
taste, but for someone else,
correct.
it could be very beautiful.
It'll be
Yeah,
different.
Mhm.
So so I was like, okay, even if your portraits are not going to sell, or even if you are not getting into any of the exhibitions with the portraits, because portrait is not like everybody's cup of tea.
Exactly.
So, but still, I love portraits, so I wanted to explore more on portraits.
Mhm.
So if I didn't change that focus, so I was like prepared for it. So whether it's a success or it's a rejection, I would say like I wouldn't stop. I would maybe try with something else,
Mhm.
somewhere else,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't stop. That is
Yeah.
what
So it's
I
not
was
like a validation that someone is giving you, like, yes, you're good or bad.
true.
So it just didn't work, like, maybe for that person at
True,
that point.
true.
Yeah.
So that was always, that is still always there in my mind.
That's very
So-
nice. Yeah.
So I would always keep that as my motive. Like art is very subjective.
Mhm.
Keep experimenting and keep going on. That is what I will just think.
Yeah, yeah. I think you kind of covered my next question there. Like,
Okay.
what would you like to tell your younger self or someone who is coming into the art or who is trying to establish themselves?
Okay. So in general, like I also teach now to my
Mhm.
students and to kids and adults now.
Yeah.
So in general, what I would tell them is like, first thing I would say is don't stop your creativity.
Yes.
So if for me, like how I would say is like, there's a chair there. I can draw the chair as it is, or I can add something more to the chair.
You can add a dimension. You can add.
I
like
can do
totally new
anything to it.
texture,
I can
yeah.
just my hand is going to paint,
Mhm.
so I can put all my creativity into that.
Right.
I can maybe even draw the chair upside down. That is how I wanted it to be.
Right.
So I wouldn't stop. I wouldn't say that no, somebody else will not approve it. No, it's okay. It's my creativity.
Right.
That is generally I tell my students also.
Mhm.
So when the parents sometimes they say like, she's always drawing unique multicolors of painting.
Yeah.
She's making something like everything multicolor. Apple is in color.
Yeah.
No, I don't want it. I used to say why not?
Yeah.
You've seen apple in red or green. That's okay. But she thinks apple can be in this way also.
Right.
So
So
why do you want
that
to
is
stop
a
it?
real creativity.
Yeah,
that's
that is where
blossoming there.
creativity
Yeah.
comes up.
Yeah.
So why do you want to stop it? Why do you want to, implement your ideas to somebody?
Right. Right.
Then that will not be. There will be no creation.
exactly.
So
yeah.
creation should come from each individual mind. So
Mhm.
that cannot be stopped. So when you start exploring more about that, that is when you will learn your capacity,
Mhm.
and that is when you will understand how far you can go.
Yeah, you push your imagination and you
Correct.
create wonders with it.
So
Like, yeah.
I-
Or there is no point in recreating something.
correct.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
recreation is not easy though,
Yeah.
but I would say like it's okay. You can explore.
Right.
So it's not always it shouldn't just be the same way what you see in draw. You can
Right.
just explore and you can just add elements.
Mhm.
So that is what I would say my students or any
Very nice.
upcoming artists.
Yeah, yeah. When you see someone, when you see a student, like, I think my question is, are artists born or made?
I would say both.
Okay.
So, and I would say it's a choice.
Yeah.
Whether you're born artist or um, if you're made to do it, still it's your choice to keep up the spirit in you to take up art.
Right. Yeah.
So that is what I would say.
Mhm.
So not everybody can do everything,
Mhm.
but if you find that you can do something better in art or any other
working at
thing,
it, keep at it.
working on it.
Yeah.
So that is what I would say.
Yeah.
So earning and professional, everything is there. Yes, it's all very, very important aspects of life.
Mhm.
But you should not you should, whenever you should, if you find some time or something, you should also spend some little amount of your time to pursue your dreams. Do something other than that.
Right.
Whether it yields something out of it or not.
It gives
Still-
you that personal satisfaction.
Yes.
It serves your purpose.
True, very
Yeah.
true. And my level of confidence has increased so much after
Right.
what
You're
I've
just
started
living
doing.
your dream.
Yes, true.
Obviously. Yeah. Yeah.
So I used to say I'm just a software engineer, just 10, 11 out of
Right.
that's it.
Right.
Everywhere when I go is I'll say a software engineer.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, yeah, you're just a one among
Yeah.
them.
So that's not your true identity.
True identity.
Like, I know there are some engineers who are very
True.
passionate about being an engineer.
True,
That's,
true.
that's again different
But that is
story.
not me.
Right, right. So you were
I
able
was
to
like-
figure out what you need to fulfill your soul, and you're doing
True,
it, and
true.
that's very amazing.
True.
Yeah.
So once I started saying I'm an artist, I own a studio and I
Mhm.
teach art, I
Right.
was all.
Yeah, you
I
feel
was
good
in
about your
cloud nine,
identity.
yes.
Like, yeah.
So wherever I go, even back in our country, nowadays,
Yeah.
artists, wow, okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
you're
I think
portrait
I've seen
artist,
that
yes.
next level of respect recently.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
So what are your future goals looking like? What do you want to be
Okay.
in the next 10 years or in general?
Yeah, so my future goal has been always to have a huge exhibition in Chennai with a lot of my paintings in a couple of years, maybe 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So, and open a very big studio, like a gallery in
Art
Chennai.
studio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gallery in Chennai.
Mhm.
That is what I would think of. So,
Very nice.
Yeah.
I really hope your dream comes true as
Thank
soon
you.
as possible, and please give me free tickets.
yeah, sure, definitely. You will be the first one to be invited.
Yeah, but I hate that. I think as an artist, we all should encourage, we should buy more of your paintings. We should support you as an artist. So
Thank
that
you.
was a joke. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I really wish you all the very best
Thank
for
you.
your future endeavors.
Thank
and
you.
I hope you make many, many more artists.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think I'm good with all my questions,
Yeah,
but
thanks.
I do really appreciate your time today.
Mhm.
So guys, if you want to check out Preethi's art studio, it's in Bellevue, Washington.
It's in Redmond.
Okay, Redmond, Washington. I'm going to leave a link to her website and her Facebook page. So that's the end of today's episode. I will see you guys again next week with another interesting story. Until then, take care.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.